and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. There's one thing we all have in common. We're all getting older. Aging is a natural process. As Frank Lloyd Wright once noted, the longer I live, the more beautiful life becomes. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. For a growing number of us, the challenges that come with aging include frailty, isolation, and cognitive impairment. Right now, the Alzheimer's Association reports that there are 13,000 Vermonters living with the irreversible disease, and that number is expected to double within the next 40 years. So today we're going to discuss an important way for individuals and families to help cope with aging, disability, and disease. Joining me are two guests on the front lines of adult day services. Sue Chase is the Executive Director of Care Partners Adult Day Center in St. Albans. Also with us is the Director of the Springfield Area Adult Day Service, Joanne Bowen. Thanks so much for coming in, to both of you. Now, Sue, this is really an important issue, one that thousands of families face all over the state and can really relate to.
Yes, I mean, and I think one of our struggles in this in Adult Day is that oftentimes we find that people don't know that our program exists, that they don't realize that there are 13 adult day providers in the state of Vermont at 17 sites that are providing adult day services. The state of Vermont actually certifies adult day programs, and that we're all a little bit different, and that oftentimes I will say that we're one of the best kept secrets in long-term care.
Mm-hmm. So what is Adult Day?
So Adult Day is a supportive and protective environment for folks who have disability, who may be frail, elderly, that can come and receive services that are both medical and social. And so our job is to help provide a place where people can come and receive those services and keep them out of a nursing home, keep them living at home as long as possible.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that's so important?
I mean, most people in Vermont do want to stay out, at least avoid or delay going into a nursing home setting. Families feel very strongly that they want to support people in those efforts. Vermont has been a leader in offering people a range of options in the state. One of the biggest options is what's called the Choice for Care program, and though we vary a little bit as Adult Days as to how many people that are on this program, that many of us, a core group of people attending, are people who would be in a nursing home setting, but that by coming to Adult Day, it's made a difference in their lives in terms of staying home.
Mm-hmm. So how does it work? Does someone come for the entire day?
Actually, they can choose to come as often as they'd like. They can choose to come 1 or 2 days. They can come all 5 days, and some facilities are open on weekends and evenings, and they can choose the number of hours that they'd like to attend. So it's really kind of helpful for the family member and for the person who'd like to attend to be able to choose as often as they'd like to be there.
Mm-hmm. And so how is Adult Day different from a senior center?
I think one of the senior centers definitely play a really integral role in terms of the range of services that are available in Vermont, that frequently people, when they go to a senior center, they're going for a meal, they're going to maybe do an activity, cards or whatever. They may only be there for, say, 2 hours or so, whereas at Adult Day, that typically you're going to have somebody that may be there for 6 to 8 hours at the program. We offer more in the way of meals and snacks. There's also, if somebody is, frequently what we find is somebody may start coming to an Adult Day center who's pretty well, they're able to get around, but we can respond to their care needs as it grows, whereas a senior center can't, because we do have staff that can assist with toileting or ambulation, showers, those types of services. In addition, we have licensed nurses that can provide health monitoring services, so we can be checking blood sugar levels, doing treatments. Maybe somebody is on oxygen, they may need a nebulizer treatment, or they may need to have their vital signs checked, and those are all things that we can do. But many times for the participant, they come for the activities, they come for the different things that we have to offer at our programs, and many of these other services are kind of just behind the scenes, and for their families it gives them peace of mind in knowing that somebody is making sure that my mom's blood sugar level is within acceptable ranges before lunch or whatever.
Plus the families know that they're getting the care that they're going to need, their loved ones are getting the care they're going to need, so that it's easier, I would imagine, for them to say, okay, I can let mom stay for the day or 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Right. We have that nursing care, that nursing piece, so when there are folks that need to have, the check-in for their vitals and things, that we're able to be there and take care of them. Also, lots of medication management, so lots of folks who take medication during the day, that's something that we help to manage for them. And then working with the family closely and the doctor to create a care plan based on these are their diagnoses, these are what they need to work on. We want to keep them at their optimum level of functioning so they can continue to live at home. So we're doing that extra step that a senior center wouldn't be doing.
Tell us a little bit about, let's take a couple of moments each, and Sue and Joanne, tell us a little bit about your facilities in particular, your center.
Yep. We actually built our own facility about 12 years ago, so it was really specifically designed to be an adult day center. You'll find in Vermont that some of us are freestanding nonprofits, whereas some are like Joanne, part of a hospital or some other larger organization, and so that we have different spaces for different functions. So we have an arts and crafts room, there's a living room where we can do a lot more kind of in terms of dementia care. As you mentioned earlier, that this is a growing issue in the state of Vermont, so that we can be responsive to the needs and create a good, safe, secure environment for folks.
And how about your center?
So Springfield Area Adult Services is part of a larger entity, and that's Springfield Medical Care Systems, and it includes our Springfield Hospital, which is part of an FQHC, a federally qualified health center. So it's a little different than some of the standalone adult days that are out there, but we are a large facility. We've been open for about 28 years, kind of one flat area with different rooms that people can go to, so that if they want to be in a quiet room, they can be in there, because oftentimes when we have music and things like that going on, it's a little loud, it can be overstimulating. So we have people that will go in the quiet room while we have a large group playing music. Lots of other activities and things that happen that were there, but every adult day is set up a little different. Some nonprofits are their own entities, and we're just happen to be part of a larger entity in our area.
Why would someone want to attend an adult day center?
I think it provides a wide array of services for the individual. Again, that we start off our day with a light breakfast, so people kind of have their nutritional needs are being met right off the bat. Then we have a seated exercise program next, and then a range of activities that people have choices as to what they want to go to. But again, if somebody needs to be maintaining their ability to ambulate or transfer safely, we have staff that will help with therapy walking, and oftentimes doing therapeutic exercises with people. And again, to have the nurses available so that if there is a particular health concern that a family might be concerned about, that they know that that's going to be addressed, and that many families, I think, report that they find the structure of the day is very beneficial, especially with somebody who has dementia, and frequently people are a little reluctant to come to adult day because they think, oh, it's only going to be people with dementia. But if you walked in there, I think you'd be very surprised. I mean, there are a number of people with memory issues, but they are chit-chatting, reminiscing around certain kinds of aspects of their lives, and it can be a very full day.
I was going to say integration is important. So we have actually people that attend our facility that are younger disabled, and we can take people 18 years and older, and so we have had some younger folks come, and the integration between the younger group and the older group is really wonderful to see. You oftentimes might see them, holding hands and reading a book together or something like that. So it's really important that you integrate not only the ages, but the folks that have dementia with the folks that don't have dementia. That they sometimes feel like they come and they have a sense of purpose that they didn't have before, because they're like, wow, I can really give back. I'd like to help out a little bit and volunteer. So, coming to our facility isn't just a place where we're taking care of them and we're watching over them, but they're finding out, hey, I have a whole new group of friends. I have this really great ability to help out with cleaning tables, you know, reading a book to somebody, something like that. And so they start to feel like they belong again.
That
It's really
socialization
nice.
is huge, because I know my mother's in assisted living, and that's one of the things she'll say is, oh, it's quiet.
Yeah.
And so to be able to have activities and
Yeah.
things to do and new people to meet is huge.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, one of the things that we find that oftentimes people will eat better at our program because they're in a social setting.
Or they remember to eat.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
And there's somebody there that maybe is prompting them, oh, you know, try this food or whatever, and so that it, you know, can snowball into other positive aspects in their lives.
Now, how does someone pay for adult day services?
A lot of the funding for Adult Day is through Medicaid. We mentioned earlier about the Choice for Care program. It will pay for Adult Day services. There's also another Medicaid program that's specific to Adult Day. People will, we provide the service on a sliding fee scale basis, so we'll look at a person's income and resources and medical expenses, and then people pay privately out of pocket. Increasingly, we're finding some people that do have long-term care insurance, and long-term care insurance will pay.
Yeah, there's also the veterans, the VA. The VA has a program, and there's several adult days that actually are a part of the VA with a contract, and so the VA will pay for some of those things. And what you're going to find is in each geographical area, there are different pots of funding that are available through your local AAA, or you call it Council on Aging. And so we like to try to connect with them and get the ability to sort of help people out and help them with funding. So, yeah.
We talk about some of the benefits for the folks who come to visit the day centers. What about for the families?
Well, for families, I think the big piece of it is that they're receiving the respite by having their individual come, but also that we're doing a lot of social service, like you're talking about, connecting the families with resources that are available in their area, such as a caregiver support group, which is oftentimes a part of the Alzheimer's Association, and connecting them with whatever might be available for them in the area that our adult day is located.
Yeah, I know as a family member, you feel a little guilty sometimes thinking that, you know, I just really need to take a break from mom, but that's hugely important.
Yes.
We spend a lot of time, I think, doing the coaching with them. Nurses that work our facilities and the directors and anyone who works there, trying to talk with them and talk people through the fact that, you know, caregivers need to keep themselves healthy because they're the ones that are taking care of their loved ones. So we oftentimes spend time connecting them with different resources and working through the guilt that they might feel, and it's okay to take the time for yourself.
And I think sometimes for some families it's also the trust, you know, are they going to care for dad the way I would care for dad, and that, you know, sort of understanding what are some of those barriers as to why somebody may be resistant or reluctant to try out Adult Day.
And the promises that they make. You know, there's a lot of promises that were made to them. And I promised him I'd never place him, and working through that with them and understanding that if he really understood what you were going through, or if she really understood that, you know, it would be okay.
I think that's one thing my mother keeps saying, I don't want to be a burden, which is, you know, huge.
Yeah.
And so what would you say to maybe someone who's watching this program today and they hadn't really thought that Adult Day was maybe an option, but are starting to think about it? What should they do?
I would really come and tour your local Adult Day and get a sense of what the program is all about, that we encourage people to come for a trial visit. We work really hard with families to try to understand what are some of those barriers as to why they would be resistant to exploring Adult Day. I frequently find that families afterwards will say, geez, I wish I had tried this sooner. We really waited too long, and that it has made a world of difference in my mom's life, but we realize we have to make a change.
And I think each adult day takes the time that they need. So maybe, you know, maybe it's more than one trial visit. You know, oftentimes we're going out 3 and 4 trial visits to try to get the person who has dementia or Alzheimer's to get used to us.
Right,
So,
and that's a big thing, is the familiarity
yes,
too.
Yes.
So if someone's interested in finding out more about this, what should they do?
If they want to find out more about it, in each region there is a local AAA, and there's an 800 number that they want to call. So that would be 1-800-642-5119, And if they call that number, there's a live person at the other end, and they could help you out with connecting with the adult day in your area.
Because it sounds like you can be just as flexible as a family needs.
Yes,
Well,
very much so.
I want to thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
That's our program for today. I'm Judy Simpson. I'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.